there's 13 other seats available right now. We've got a couple of the money. I think we've got another control that judges do that. And there's a can we go on?
So that gives you an idea of the, and here's Phyllis and Alex. They were very, very big supporters. In fact, as we moved from room to room, we started in the coffee shop, then we moved downstairs. We got too big for the coffee shop, moved downstairs. Alex made all of these arrangements for us. He was really a big supporter of our group. We moved to a platform in this building, in that part of the building. Then we moved down near the stage as we got bigger. And then Alex said, you guys are getting too big for this group. Come up and be in this room up here. And I understand this room rents for $210. And he said, Don, let it go. We're glad to have you in the place. So Alex was very generous, very supportive of our program. And so was Phyllis, of course. But I was dealing with Alex. And then Alex would put on these branding programs. And we'd go out to their, they don't call it a farm, their ranch. Sorry. The ranch out there. And we would watch Alex on horseback lasso the cattle and put them down, and then they would brand them, and they would do something else to them, but I'm not going to talk about that. And this is Alex and his daughter, correct, Phyllis?
Yes.
Yes. Kathy, thank you. And then it went on, and then these are some of the guys that were out there. Is there anybody in that picture that's here in this room? Would you put up your hand? Clark? Clark? You're the man. Okay, well, wherever he is, he's up there somewhere. All right, and then, hello, there it goes. That's Alex on horseback. He was a great horseman, by the way. You see the statue of him when you drive in here. And Phyllis had that set up. And here he is greeting us as an individual, just welcoming us to the Madonna Inn. So Alex played a big part in getting us going and getting us started. Again, a good horseman. But what little I know about being a horseman. And then this was a couple of our meetings that we had. Different people showed up. This was down at our place near Shell Beach. We had a big group of people of the Rams come down there. You've heard the story about cutting off the tie. That was so that we would not get too serious. And you can see the tie is gone, the carrot is being cut off. And that was the way it was. That sort of slowed everything down. Here's a good picture of it. I can't quite read it, but for unachievement. Have I got that right? Yeah, unachievement. I'm sorry to say. Yes, that was for me, I'm sorry to say. And then we were sending a lot of books down to a destroyer in San Diego. We had a library over in the corner there, probably about 400 books, I would guess, maybe 300. And one of our guys would track them down to the enlisted personnel aboard the ship. And they really appreciated it. And they sent this up. I can't quite read it all. Please accept this check. We get appreciation for the support. Read it out loud, would you?
Provided to Howie by the grant. Sincerely, VA.
Right. So that was a really nice thing that we were doing at that time. And that don't tread on me. We've got a naval captain here, Navy captain. Navy captain.
I think he's talking about you.
I'm talking about you.
I'm trying to ignore the commander.
Oh, that hurts. What is this? Okay, all right. We won't ask you that. It has some significance aboard ship, though. Yeah, he was a naval aviator, by the way, about ships. At different times, we had different branches of the service come and put on programs. And this one was, you can see, branch represented almost all the branches of the service at that time. Then we had the dog out in the parking lot. And then we had him come in here. And he was sniffing for drugs. That was the idea. And they had planted a drug here in the building, in this room. but the dog went around and sniffed everybody's crotch. And I noticed some pretty nervous people in here. All right, well, move on. This man was the last man out of Saigon. When we went out of Vietnam, the guy with the coffee cup was the last man out of Saigon. It was quite a big deal. When he spoke today and he talked about all the trauma, the helicopter land going on the roof, all of you remember that, and trying to get out of Saigon and Vietnam. So that was a great talk. I thought it was one of our best talks. Long lost Cal Poly war plaques find a permanent home. We raised $1,500 by showing a movie, Pearl Harbor, at a theater. This group did. And then we turned it over to the Cal Poly ROTC, and they converted these plaques at the bottom to brass plaques, and they're hanging over at Cal Poly now where the horses are. So we did our bit there. We felt good about it. They honored all of the World War II veterans. I think there were 52 that were killed that were Cal Poly students in World War II. So we honored them at that time. And these are the old plaques, and this is the group that made that happen. And you can see, I'm going to keep moving on here, but he's the fellow that took the books down to San Diego, Navy guy, old Navy, old sub guy. Now this is an interesting group. Is there anybody that's in this picture in this room? Just one guy? Good Lord. That says something about the turnover in this group. Wow. That is the group that made the cookbook. And they did a great job, and it was, I've forgotten how many pages, but it was about, maybe 70 pages of all of the women's best menu items. What do they call them? Recipes. Something like that. You see, I'm 85, so recipes. Those big words. So anyway, this was the group, and they did a great job. And how many of you have a copy of that book? Oh, that's better. At least 10. Wow. And this was the cover, Coffee Cabinet Collection Cookbook. And this is me speaking, and this is what I did after I retired as the guy that ran this group. I went into the Senior Olympics and did a lot of that. And Bob, that's one of those medals that you've got there from the Senior Olympics. And then this was the 300th meeting. And I think that again was donated by Phyllis. This is Bob Mott's walking group back in the day. And we stopped at the Steaming Bean in Santa Maria, Shell Beach. And I don't know, I'm almost afraid to ask, is anybody in that picture in this group? Put up your hand. 2, 3, 5, wow. The turnover in this group has been tremendous. Okay. Is what? Oh, yeah? Oh, what is this? Can anybody tell me what this is?
It's rated X, I know.
It's rated X. I'm going to have him say just a word or two about this beautiful attire that he's got on his head. He was the Big Ram at this time.
Actually, I just became the Big Ram, and Ron Bell presented this headdress to me. It's a ram headdress, but I look more like a ewe there than a ram, I think. But thank you, Ron. A belated thank you.
Thank you. And what happened to that beautiful artwork?
I passed it on to my successor, Ted Ivory.
Ted Ivory. Ted, what happened to it?
We have it over here.
We do? Okay, good. Yeah, I want to see you wear it next meeting.
Oh, you bet.
All right. He didn't sound enthusiastic. I don't know. And just different people, different things that were going on at different times. This is that movie that we talked about. We filled the theater. Had a whole lot of Pearl Harbor veterans there in the audience, along with a lot of Rams and their wives. So that was a pretty big deal, front page. Japanese attack. This was that movie thing again that we talked about. This coffee cabinet, World War II vets at that time. Would anybody that's in that picture please raise their hands? I see one. Are there two? Oh, two, okay. Yeah, two, wow. Okay, so things are moving on. And retired active men with Rams, and that's that good picture that we had taken by the Tribune. Those are some of the medals and stuff that I've won since I retired from here. And who is that? Pardon me? Chuck Liddell. What's his story? The Iceman. Anybody ever heard of him? Would you put up your hands? Oh, that's better. Yeah. He was the world champion. What do they call that kind of boxing? Not kickboxing. No, something else. Martial arts champion, world champion.
Ultimate fighting champion.
What is it? Mixed martial arts. Anyway, don't mess with him. He's my bodyguard. I wish. This is a list that was put together by the people at that time. We had a guy that was very concerned about attendance. And so this is a list of the people that were attending, but not all at the same time, but attending. So that's page 1. That's page 2. These are people that are attending at that time. And that's page 3. I think it made up about 160 people that we kept tabs on that were part of the coffee cabinet at that time. And this is the programs that we offered. You can't see it, but it showed that we were reaching out about a year in advance on programs that people wanted to talk to this group. I'm not sure why, but they would line up and we would put them in order. So these are 3 different plates. So it says, congratulations, Ram Coffee Cabinet, 1,100 consecutive meetings. Is that it? If you got it all, are we done? All right. Can we thank Hank, please? I'd like to give away some of these $25,000. Who founded the walking group? You said it first, young lady. You get a $25,000 prize. Yeah. Please don't spend it until you scratch it. Okay. Let's see. Who founded the Coffee Cabinet Computer Group?
That was for last week.
Last night.
Who said that first over there? Would you? You did. All right. Hand that over to me. Hand that over. Les Meyer. That's right. Good for you. Who founded the Coffee Cabinet Book Club?
Dave Smith.
Is Dave Smith here? Not here. Bob, you were the first one, but that's illegal for you to win the $25,000. When you say, who was the second one? Would you put up your hand? Oh, I got quiet in here. All right. Well, we'll pass on that. Dave Smith. Who took, pardon me, the cookbook? Who did the cookbook? Norm Tiger. Talbot and wait a minute, we're missing somebody, aren't we? Who said that? Bernie, would you hand that to Bernie, please? Thank you. All right. Bernie, good luck. That'll be a miracle, and you know. Really. Who paid for and produced the hundreds of name tags donated to Brass Ram's Head? So you've got to wait until I'm done talking. Bad. Let me see here. Where was I? Name tags. So at Ram's Head, started the Coffee Cabinet Investment Group. Did you know that we had an investment group? Yeah. I don't know whether we made any money or not, but it finally vanished in a cloud of smoke. I'm not going to give a ticket out on that one. That was a little too confusing. I would like my friend Bernie Troy, Dr. Bernie Troy, he's right over here. Bernie, would you mind telling them about your trying to go through probably the phone or the computer at that time to get us into the Guinness Book of World Records? Would you mind just giving us a brief rundown on that, please? Would you mind standing? Thank you. And would you mind handing the mic? Thank you.
There you go.
At your instigation, Don, I contacted the Guinness, and you had requested that we be included as the world's largest group of men meeting regularly for breakfast, with 534 consecutive meetings. So I sent the request on the internet, and they replied that they did not verify such meetings and did not include them in the Guinness Book of Records, but they had no objection to our calling ourselves the world's largest group of men meeting regularly for breakfast, but not currently included in the Guinness Book of Records.
Would you hand that to Bernie, please? Thank you. Yes, Bernie, that was a nice effort. And Bernie is dead Irish, so I thought he would have all kinds of, pull over there in the Guinness, but it didn't work out. Do we have any Navy veterans who actually saw a nuclear explosion? He was there at the scene. Would they put up their hands, please?
Yeah, I did.
Would you tell them what ship you were aboard, please?
I was on the USS Wright, and in 1955 we had what they referred to as the Operation Wigwam, where we had ships about 600 miles off the coast of California, and they detonated an underwater atomic explosion to see what effect it would have on surface and submerged vessels. And I recall very vividly in the midships as a corpsman counting down 10, 9, 8, and I'm saying, I'm too young to die. I haven't been married yet. But it was a very successful trip, and it was memorable. And I do have a copy there at the Veterans Museum if you want to be bored with a video there.
Thank you very much. And you get a $2,500. Well, there aren't many of us that have been out there and seen the actual explosions at sea. I don't think. Are there any others? Nobody? I wouldn't think so. Okay, I think we've answered most of the questions. I've still got a couple of tickets left. Let me see if I can give them away. By a show of hands, who knew the person that put together a 25 or 28 car show? He went to Alex Madonna. Alex said, can I have a card show here at the Madonna Inn parking lot? And Alex said, sure, no problem. Go ahead. Jack Spaulding. Jack, would you please stand up, take a bow?
Here.
I'm not sure who said that first.
25,000 over here.
You're 25. Yeah, again, please don't spend it too quick, please. Congratulations. Yeah, Jack put together that, and also, and Phyllis, you might remember this, Jack was the guy that instigated the sign out at the beginning of the driveway of the Madonna Inn, and it said Rams and Coffee Cabinet, didn't it, Jack? Meet here at the Madonna Inn at certain times. And that was really good. Jack, did you get a $25 ticket?
No, I haven't.
May I give you one, please? Right. Right.
25,000 to 25?
Don't confuse me. Yeah, like that.
25,000, what do you get?
250,000.
Do we have anybody here that served in country in Vietnam? In country, on the ground. They've got two. Stan, I'm sorry, sir, would you stand up? And I can't quite see you. Speak real loudly. What did you do there in country in Vietnam?
The infantry, 99th Infantry Brigade.
99th Infantry Brigade in Vietnam.
199.
I'm sorry. All right, 199. Could we give him that? Would you please stand and say what you did there?
The 64 99 support group, I was a spy. take notice. I said, I don't care how stupid the Vietcong are, they're gonna know in 3 seconds that I'm not one of them.
And congratulations on the $25,000 for sure. All right. My friends, I think we're almost done. I wanted to talk about what was your, if anybody can come up with, what was their favorite program of what is it, 1,100 programs now? What was your favorite program? Would you put up a hand, please, if you have one that you would like to? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Speak up. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. All right.
We had the graduate of Cal Poly who pedaled a bicycle from Alaska down to the tip of South America.
I forgot that. That was a great one. Congratulations. All right. Do we have one other one? Bob, I already gave you a ticket, didn't I?
Yeah, no, I want to give a favorite program.
A favorite program. Okay, shoot, Bob.
We had several girls from Cal Poly as our speakers, and I frankly can't remember them, but someone talked about a knee operation. Remember that? And someone else said, well, I've had two. And so we suddenly had a spontaneous leg show. The men came up and showed their knees, and they stretched almost from that wall to this wall. And we have one of these who will show his knees right now, Bill on the side. And then the girls had to choose the most beautiful knee.
And there was a lot of debate among the women. They were really... Yeah, go ahead. Speak real loudly.
I think we had the best program in the world. We had a veteran from World War II who was a pilot. He came and talked to us, and it was near the end of the program when it was determined he was a pilot with the German Air Force.
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten that. That's right. Any other great programs? Last chance. Bernie.
He joined the Navy when he was 17, arrived at Pearl Harbor on December 6th, and had 5 Purple Hearts during the war. He was promoted to ensign and celebrated, got arrested for conduct unbecoming, and the warrant officer was his father.
I don't know whether you could hear that story, but it was a great program. Yeah, I remember that. One last great program. Yes, sir. Speak real loudly.
The big program for me was on Tuesday when Dan Dowd spoke, because I can't remember anything before that.
That's give him a ticket. Yeah. Somebody said he'll just lose it. That's good. Well, all right, now here's the last 2 questions, maybe I think it is. What was the best field trips we've ever been on? This will only be a few of you. Jack?
How about the field trip to the, out here at the, what's the outfit out here at the prison? At the prison, yeah, when the director of the entire state of California took us out there.
Right, Dan McCarthy took us out on a tour of the prison. It was a great day. We went in with 65 men. We came out with 68. There were some questions raised about this. That was a great program. You're right, absolutely. So, my friends, I think, how are we doing on time? Are we about done? Are we okay? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, what about the tour that you took us on out to Vandenberg to watch a launch? I thought that was a great one.
That was a disaster.
Speak real loud.
Well, it was a disaster because I arranged these buses to take us down to Vandenberg for a particular launch. And they kept changing the date, and they changed the time. And every time, I had to rearrange the people who could make it, the people who couldn't make it, and rearrange the... And it ended up on a Saturday. I got them to open the Oak Club for us anyway. I didn't have a big lunch, but... arranging it was a bitch. And you put me up to it.
That was Captain Norm Dean, United States Navy speaking, and he tried to pull rank down there at the Air Force. Man, they blew him off. Yeah, go ahead. Real loud.
Don, I have a question of you.
No.
tell us what inspired you to first start the group and what your modus operandi was once you got it going.
Well, thank you for asking that question.
I'll be here till 10 o'clock.
No. So what happened was I would go to coffee with my wife or at a lunch, breakfast somewhere, and there'd always be a table of 5 or 6 guys sitting around shooting the bull. And I thought, well, you know, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should try that with our group. And as we said, we started with 8, and now look at all of you here today. And we had at one time 175 guys that came and went over the years. And I want to give Bob Mott again all the credit for picking up the program and making it happen after I had to retire. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much. Is there one last hand up there? Please.
I want to know, how did you arrange all those meetings for 11 years and the programs on the meetings?
My wife allowed me to lose a lot of sleep over that. It was pretty demanding, but we had a lot of good people helping, as you heard here, and it was a pretty demanding experience, though.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John. John, you have to wait for a moment here. We have something to present to you. This is, the secret is out. The founder of the Coffee Cabinet seldom drinks coffee. He prefers herbal tea. If we had known this earlier, we might have been called the tea chest. Don, here's a sampler of herbal tea with our thanks.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's see. Harry Sharp has a few comments here.
Don set a record, of course, that no one is interested in breaking or even bending or slightly even twisting. But of late years, our programs, both for the Coffee Cabinet and for the RIMS monthly meeting, have been organized by our fearless program leader and walk leader and all other things. And that would, of course, be Bob Mott. And so on behalf of the RIMS, the Coffee Cabinet, Branch 2, we commend Bob Mott in recognition of tireless service and outstanding leadership. Bob?
Well, programs are definitely a team affair. I get up here more than the others, perhaps, to introduce, but they all take part. And it's our Fearless Program Committee. So on behalf of them, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob, for all that you do for our club there. And Jack Spaulding, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, what is our tab today?